In today's video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown of my first 30 days with DeliverThat, a catering app. Earnings breakdown, what you can expect your first 30 days, what you might be able to expect after your 30 days if you take advantage of what's in front of you. Full breakdown, is it worth it? Let's go. Welcome back to Mr.BetonYou. All right, I've been doing DeliverThat for over 30 days now. In total, I have 49 completed deliveries on the app. 42 of them, which have been paid for already, and the rest I've done this week or the last few days haven't been paid yet. But we're almost at 50 deliveries with DeliverThat. Now, I am not an expert. I'm not gonna say I know it all. I'm gonna still learn. But I've done enough now to understand the app a lot more better than I did the first week when I was giving you guys my first week breakdown. Now we're 30 days in. Here's an update. For the 42 deliveries I've done so far, $1,283. $30 per average is what I'm getting on DeliverThat. There's still a few I haven't yet been paid for. That's okay, but that's the average. So I know that when I go and do these deliveries, that's about what I'm gonna get paid for. So I know that when I'm looking at the miles to money, how much time it's gonna take me, do I wanna do business with this merchant based on the experience I've had before? What about this drop-off? Does it look pleasurable? Does it look good? Is it gonna be hard? What? $30 is what I'm giving myself. Sometimes it's a little bit more, 34, 35, sometimes it's a little bit less. It's a tip pool, so you're sharing in the tip pool of the other Easy Cater orders that you've done along with the other delivery drivers in DeliverThat. So I'm happy with the $30. It's actually $30 and some change. I'm good with that. I haven't had a lot of issues. We'll get into a few things I think that could be better, and maybe it's because of me, I don't know. But that's not bad earnings considering the mileage that I've driven, the time. Overall, solid earnings, okay, for that particular app. Now, I think there's other companies and other opportunities, and even on DoorDash I can make more. I've done 2 caterings on DoorDash, and those have paid me 2-3 times more than $30. But those aren't as plentiful. I'm not seeing as many of those. Right now with DeliverThat, I've had three deliveries a day, multiple times. I've had several days where I've only done 1. Mostly I do 2 a day. That's my average for the most part. I've done 1 on a Saturday. I haven't done any on a Sunday. I've done 2 that were past 5 p.m. I've done 2 that were in the afternoon, and I've done about 5 that were in the morning, which is for me 7 a.m. to like 9 a.m. So most of these delivery runs, that the 49 I've done, are between 10 a.m. and like 11:15. That's the money spot for the caterings. What about you guys in your market? Okay, let's continue with the breakdown here after 30 days. First thing I want to mention is the number one concern that I've heard from drivers. A few people that I've met in person, people I've talked to on the phone, some comments. Pedro, thanks for the DeliverThat. I signed up. Let's see what happens. Most people are not seeing what I'm seeing. They're not seeing as many opportunities per day. The number one reason for that, based on what I've heard from those drivers and others, even in comments, if I don't know you, but I've read a comment or seen a video, the way you have to accept an order is not fun. It's not easy. It's not easy. The only way I've been able to do 49 in 30 days, which isn't a whole lot, but it's not bad. I think that's probably above average. You guys tell me what you think. Than most people, right? Because I don't do the weekends, right? The only way I've been able to do is I've actually dedicated to having that phone, that the device is open. Always mark available. That's one tip for you guys. Always leave yourself available. You're gonna get a chime. You're gonna get a ding, a little bell. By the time you hear that bell twice, you're probably not gonna get it. So if your phone's in the other room and you hear it, you can go and look, but it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. You have to have that interface open, and you have to be ready to hit it like as soon as you hear it. And even if you do that, it might go away. You have to be ready to accept it. It's the only thing that I think could change to give people more opportunity. But if you want to play the catering game with DeliverThat, you have to be ready at those times. And it will vary from time to time. What I've learned in 30 days is orders come in at like 2 p.m. They come in early morning. They come in late night for me in St. Louis. I think drivers hold them. You can hold up to 5 in the queue if you're a regular catering driver. We'll get to that in a minute. There's some levels. There's 4 different levels. We'll talk about what DeliverThat says about those levels and where you could fit in. Anyways, you can hold 5 in the queue for most catering DeliverThat drivers, okay? And I think a lot of times at nighttime, what happens is somebody says, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to get up, and it's 10 p.m. before they go to bed, they drop it, because you can do that penalty free. As long as you drop it within, it's got to be 3 hours or more from the pickup time. So you got a pickup time at 10 a.m. You can basically drop it at like 6:59 or 7 a.m. and be okay. But if you got to pick up at 10 a.m. and you drop it at 9, and you had it since the day before, you don't want to do that. These are catering. You need, DeliverThat thing. Got to figure out, do we got to call the driver? Do we got to do this? Do we have to cancel? Whatever. Anyways, so I think a lot of times when I see them at night, late night, and I've seen that several of those late, I've seen them at like midnight. And I got that phone handy. If I happen to be on it and I accept it, maybe I get it for the next day. But I think it's drivers that don't want to do it. Something changed, planning changed. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to do it. They got another order that was better on a different app, and they drop it. So my only thing is, and this is my 30-day review, there's two things really that are questionable, but the one is the accept, man. It's not like any other app I've ever seen. There's no timer, there's no nothing. Man, you got it. It's first come, first serve. Anyways, enough about that. That's the only real negative. Overall, my 30-day review, it's good. The app is very communicative. You get your email, your pay distribution, text messages, reminders if you got an early morning, reminders if you have a stack or a double route, reminding you of what's going on with a simple text message, and it's good. If you have any issues, you can reach out to the DeliverThat text line. Very communicative. I've had to call them one time because there was something I needed. Somebody picked up. It was cool. Very easy. The support's really solid in my first 30 days. I have to say that. When I graduated from the initial onboarding or whatever it is, the little test phase, I used the Vromo app, which is a third-party app that DeliverThat uses. I was using that app, and then once I kind of got graduated up to the next level of catering driver, as they call it, I believe, then I was able to use the DeliverThat app. Only thing that's different was the color, but I'm using DeliverThat app now versus the Vromo. So anyways, don't want to confuse you, but that's what's happened in the first 30 days. And then when I got to that next level, they sent me a graduation level up email. It basically said you leveled up. And then once I hit 30 days, which is this week, you're able to take the preferred badge quiz. Preferred badge is 30 days on the app and at least 25 deliveries. I met both of those criteria. I took it, passed it on the first go around. They send you an email congratulating you, and that was it. Now so now I'm a preferred driver. You have like an entry level beginner. You've got a catering driver, which is what most drivers are. It's what the DAP says. The DAP is basically like the portal, okay, for DeliverThat. It's got all the information of anything you'd ever need. Then preferred, so that's where I'm at now, and then elite, which is, I don't even know how you get to that point beyond just doing good service, being communicative with the DeliverThat team, getting good ratings from merchants, seeing that you don't have any violations, you're on time, you're taking pictures, you're getting signatures, and at some point you might get elite, I might get elite. I'm not really even concerned about that. I got to the highest point I can get right now, and I'm good with it. I'm good with it. My communication's been good with the company, with the merchants. I'm building relationships. It's been fine, okay? It's been fine. But when you talk about the experience of a DeliverThat driver and you talk about just beyond the earnings, so right now I'm averaging $30.55 per delivery, which is solid for me, okay? That's gonna be a lot more than a lot of other apps. Now there are catering apps like Delivered, Zifty, Jackrabbit, Cartwheel, and a few others, right? And obviously you can get catering on DoorDash, but that is what it is. When you look at $30.55 per average, that's pretty good. There are apps that might be higher, but the volume of what I've been able to see in St. Louis has been good for me. Like I said, on average, I'm having 2 a day. On a good day, I can do 3. On a slow day, I might only have 1. That's okay. I had 1 today, Thursday, right? And it was okay. But yesterday I had 3, so there's my 2 per day. If I can start my day knowing that I've got, $60 to $70 in orders in the bank, fantastic. And there are times I'm able to do 2 within an hour, or 1 and it takes me 30 minutes, 40 minutes. The 3 yesterday were spaced out, but it was like an hour and a half of total time, of work time. Hour and a half for like $102. I'll take that. In a time when a lot of companies are paying you less, my average order size is good. Now, the tip pool, let's talk about that real quick. DeliverThat tip pools, basically you're getting $21 to $27 or $28 per in gratuity per order. And then you're gonna get your base wage based on the subtotal of the items. So if it's not items, but like the dollar amount. So if you've got a $600-700 order, I've noticed that the base pay is usually higher. I did orders today, it was like $200, base pay wasn't a lot, right? Or commission, whatever they call it. And then you're gonna get mileage if it's over set amount. So I think if it's over 10 miles, you're gonna get incremental money. You can also get paid for wait time. That happened to me once because I had to go to the place, waited like 45 minutes for an order. That was crazy, but it happens. So the tip pool, some people like it, some people don't. It guarantees you money. It guarantees you that 30-55 basically, right? Because some of these orders I know that I've delivered to, that like a $700 one, I did a few $500 ones, way more than the tips that I actually got. But we're all sharing in it. Tip pool, tip pool share. All the money goes in a golden pot, and DeliverThat takes all those thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, and they say, how many drivers did we do? Oh, how many orders did we pay to do? Boop, boop. Let's give them this, let's give them that, let's divide it up, let's equal it out. Now there will be orders, and I had one where it's not an easy cater, and it won't, instead of saying EZ on the description with numbers, it'll have like the actual name of the company, like the restaurant you're picking up from or whatever, right? And that offer, when you accept it, will actually show. It won't say Easy Cater tip pool is eligible because it's Easy Cater. It will tell you what the tip is. I've seen some with 0. I've seen some with 10. The one I did had a $40-something tip on it. But that tip could have been more, but that's maybe another video. So the money, we really don't know what the customer's tipping all the time. The companies have control over that. That's what I've learned in my first 30 days. But if the pay is fair, the pay is fair. For me, 30-55 for what I'm doing so far is fair to me. Now, have I missed out on some tips? Sure. I had one order that was a thing of cookies. I'm sure that it was a $50 worth of whatever. I'm sure they didn't tip $28 or $30. I'm sure that they didn't. So it is what it is. My average base commission is about it's like $7 or $8, right? It's somewhere in that land there. I've had some that have been more. But that's about the average. So that's where you get the 30-55 from. My first 30 days, I didn't know what to expect in the beginning. I think a lot of you guys, some of you guys are starting to try to see if you can get on this app. You've gotten on, but you haven't seen anything. You've gotten on, you've done a couple. You've gotten on and you're having some success. I met 2 people out in my St. Louis market that signed up because of the videos I've done, and they seem to be liking it. The only other thing that you have to be aware of when you're doing your first 30 days, beyond the tip pool, which is a thing, people talk about it, and beyond of trying to just even accept an order and get it to your phone, the timing. The timing on the apps, because DeliverThat works with Easy Cater, okay? And Easy Cater is the big hub. You got all these orders, and Easy Cater distributes them based on whatever reasoning to this company. DoorDash gets Easy Caters, okay? Now, the timing can be off. Several times, if I'm being transparent with you, I have been early. Now, DeliverThat gives you a 15-minute window. Let me explain. You should be there 15 minutes before the scheduled pickup. Quick example, scheduled pickup at Chicken Salad Chick today was 10:15, let's say, right? I gotta be there no later than 10 o'clock. That's the expectation. It will mark it in the actual app when you arrive. Okay, you can set your settings to that, or you can manually mark it. I set mine to just whatever. If you get there too early, you'll actually get a text message saying, hey, you're really early for this, make sure you don't leave too early. That's only happened to me one time, right? I got there like real early just because I didn't have anything going on. I got there early, was messing around on my phone. Now listen, the timing though, when I get to a pickup, and I've talked to several customers about this and other drivers, if my pickup is 10:15 at Chicken Salad, whatever, and I get there at 10, right? I announce myself, many times the food is already done. And I'm in there for a couple of minutes, 30 seconds, maybe I'm in there for 5 minutes. One time I've had to wait a little bit, that's it. Most of the time, these restaurants have the stuff ready. It's ready, because they knew about this for days or weeks or since yesterday, and they came in early to do it, and they want to make sure that that part of their business, because usually you're picking up orders from places that just opened, aren't opened, or like they haven't even opened or they just opened up. So they want to make sure that that catering's done so they can service the regular customers that are getting ready to come through the doors or are at the register as you walk in, and they need to get you as a driver out and make sure they can service the rest of the customers, the rest of the online, the next catering they may have. So I bring that up because really the main issue that I've had to combat and think about, how do I logistically make this work for DeliverThat, myself, and the consumer, is if I pick up that order, 10:15 pickup now, and I leave at 10:05, okay? Which is about, I'm leaving, so the arrival time is 10:15, but the depart time is the same, which is a little weird, but that's fine. I'm departing at 10:05. That 10:15 pickup might have a 10:45 drop off and leave time, right? So 30-minute window there. But the place is 10 minutes away, and I've already left 10 minutes early. So I'll get to the place at 10:15, which is when I was supposed to pick it up, and I'm there at 10:15, and it's 10:30, 10:45 is when the customer in the app is expecting it. But the customer is expecting it at 11 o'clock, because Easy Cater and DeliverThat and these other companies gives almost like 2 15-minute buffers. This is what I'm learning. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments, but they both have a buffer. And they do that because they understand they don't want these things late, traffic, things happen. They build in these buffers to protect the consumer and us. They'd rather be early than late. Because if you're late and it's a meeting lunch, you might mess up somebody's day. But if you get there too early, it's bad. Because the food's like, does it diminish quality? Are they even ready to receive it? Right? So as a DeliverThat driver, as a catering person, you need to make sure in that app, even if you're arriving early, if you need to sit and pause before you're delivering it, you might need to do that. If you feel like that drop off is going to be difficult, it's on the 17th floor. I've had some of those, 6th floor, call me, buzz you in, security. You definitely want to get there early because there might be an extra 5 to 10 minutes of you even getting to the point where you can start setting it up. Because you need to set it up in some cases. You need to set it up, but some cases you won't because there's security. They won't let you. They don't need to. It's literally one bag. It's literally a thing of cookies. There's no setup. But you do want to take pictures when you can. And if you don't, highly recommend, and what DeliverThat recommends, send them a text message on the hotline. Hey, this customer didn't require a setup. Take reference the Easy Cater information, the number and the name, and that's it. And when I've done that, they said, thanks for the heads up. Appreciate that. Anyways, the timing of it, there's buffers in there. You always want to be early, that 15 minutes, but know your market, know the place. As you start learning, you'll see, okay, I need 20 minutes instead, I need 15. This is going to be an easy drop off, so I'm good if I get there right on time, but even a little bit early. But if you get there too early, that can be a negative for a customer experience and Easy Cater. The restaurants can get dinged by Easy Cater if the consumer or the pharmaceutical rep, in some cases, calls saying, hey, they said they got it an hour early, 30 minutes early. The restaurant has to pay for that. So you want to keep those relationships good by making sure your timing is appropriate so that restaurant doesn't get dinged, you don't get dinged, consumer has a good experience. I hope that was helpful. But the timing, you got to understand, in many cases, there's 2 15 to 20 minute buffers. So sometimes when you're 15 minutes early, to the customer, they have a different timing. You're 30 minutes early. To the merchant, I've gone and pick up sometimes, and I'm supposed to be there at 10:15, and the ticket's 10:45, and some places haven't even started it, or they're just back because the timing is not always accurate for the parties involved. Hope that makes sense. Sometimes it's long-winded, but that's one of the main things I've learned in my 30 days with DeliverThat, at least. It could be different on other catering apps because of what they have built in, their level of expectation. But if you're going to do DeliverThat, the timing is going to be very important. Communication with the company, super important if something happens. Now, that doesn't mean you call the hotline every time you have an issue. No, they'd rather you text, call them for urgent things, okay? Also, don't be blowing up the customer's phone unless you really need them. These people are busy, they're professionals, they're farm reps. You need to make sure you're looking at those instructions good. Call if it's an emergency, if it's urgent, and if there's some kind of issue or in the instructions they said to call them. But you don't want to over communicate with the customer. You also don't want to over communicate with DeliverThat. Only if it's urgent. read the DAP on the DeliverThat website and all that. If you do a quick Google search of that, DeliverThat. If you're a driver, you're going to links are going to be sent to you anyway. All the information you need is in there. When you take your preferred test, if you get to that point, they recommend and tell you have the DAP open. So have the DAP open on your phone, take the test on your computer. Have the DAP open on your computer, take the test on your phone. It's not that many questions, but the questions can be tricky, so use your resources. That is a resource for you. The DAP also tells you exactly how they do the routing and what's acceptable or not, and how you can take a double order from the same restaurant going in same zones, but the pickups and drop-offs need to be aligned to where the customer's not compromised. The subtotals matter. You can't take two $1,000 orders at the same time in your car. They're against that. Technically, maybe you can, but you might get dinged on it. Something can happen. There are violations. There are terms of service, or as you could say, or agreements within that app you need to abide by. These aren't McDonald's orders. These aren't $10 pizzas. These are hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars of businesses spending money. You have to look at these differently than a DoorDash and an Uber Eats order. Man, this video has been a lot longer and long-winded than I thought. I think I brought some information. I don't know it all. I'm sharing you exactly how many orders I've done, what I've made, what I've seen that's good, what I've seen that's a little like in real time, it might give you an issue and da-da-da. So I hope this video is helpful for you. For all my DeliverThat drivers or other fellow catering drivers, let me know what you think in the comments. What has your experience been like? How long have you been on the apps? How many orders have you done? What's your average? Mine's 3055. Pretty sure I did the math right. I had to look at my distribution reports, go into my app, do some counting, figure out the ones I didn't get paid for yet. And you get paid on Wednesdays and you get paid on Fridays. Okay. So that's kind of nice. You're not getting paid every day, which is okay, but there's a schedule payment, right? Which is fine by me. You get paid twice a week basically for your time periods. That's what I got. 30 days in. I'm looking forward to the next 30 days. I'll learn. My whole goal and plan with this particular app, like any I've done it with Uber Eats, Uber Rideshare, DoorDash, Instacart. My first 30 days is like a learning experience. I want to learn things. I want to take things. I want to take everything. I want to take ones that look hard. I want to take the small ones, the big ones. I want to take ones at different restaurants. Like I know a few restaurants now, 4 or 5. I know people by name. They know my face. I know where to pick the orders up. I know what their expectation is. I know if they want the customer's name or if they want the Easy Cater number. I know those things. So that helps me in continuing. That's part of learning the app, is learning the merchants. For me, let me keep it a buck with you guys. DeliverThat is an app, and there's people on the other side of that company that are important. They got the hotline, and the people that are most important on the DeliverThat app to me are the merchants. The merchants, 100%. Because the drop-offs, the customers, these are mostly pharmaceutical reps or somebody else ordering. You're dropping off to an office. 90% of mine is some kind of medical facility. And there's all different kinds, whether it's an orthopedic, a dentist, a doctor, an OBGYN, a neurologist, a spine doctor, brain doctor. But most of the time you're dropping off, you're walking into an office with somebody at a desk and they know exactly who you are and they lead you to a break room and you set it up. But the person that paid the money isn't even there. So the reason I say I haven't had any communication with a pharmaceutical rep yet, not that I can remember at least. The reason I say the merchants are so important, you got to build that relationship. You got to be on time. You got to look good. You got to not get in their way if they're busy. You don't barge in there with your phone. I got an Easy Cater. If they're doing business, you step back. You take a pulse of the room. Are these guys busy? Are they open yet? Okay, let me put my bag here. Let me sit here. Let me announce myself, but in a respectful way. Because these guys and gals sometimes are buzzing around. Be like a fly on the wall, especially in the beginning, and work your way in and get to know them. Thank them. Building a relationship with that merchant and that trust level can go a far way. And as you're facilitating the delivery, you're going to build trust with Easy Cater and DeliverThat organically and naturally if you're doing the right things. I hope that makes sense. That's my 30-day take. Anything that I missed, put in the comments down below. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. I almost forgot. If you guys want to see me do a live DeliverThat all day ride along when I have 2 or 3 orders and I show you setup, the pickup, the process, the pictures, if I show you everything. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section of this video and hit the thumbs up. If you like this video or others, check out this one here. Consider hitting subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.